Are Black Americans and American Indians the same people? Listen closely to the descriptions and depictions of the hair.
All right, so we got this, and then we're gonna be finished. So we got the Letters and Notes of North American Indians, written in 1841 by Arthur George Catlin, and he described Indians as all primitive tribes known in America are dark copper colored with jet black hair. As you read, there are no white-skinned indigenous to America. Some AmerIndians have straight hair, while most possess curls in the extreme and every level of wavy hair in between. Texture of the hair is generally fine, soft as silk, or coarse and harsh is also noted. Today, we call this type of hair nappy hair. The coarse hair will stand anything. The coarse hair will stand anything and will grow thick. The fine hair is delicate and considered hair that will not grow long because of breakage. Catlin also noted the hair of men falling down to the hams and sometimes to the ground is divided into plats or slabs 2 inches wide and filled with profusion of glue and earth, which becomes very hard and remains unchanged from year to year. Today, this form of hair is called locks. Women used deer oil in their hair, and it was long and flowing in plaits or braids. Men wore their hair shaved with the top lock or totally bald. What are the ethnic characteristics for AmerIndian peoples of North American hair? Textured hair. Today it's called kinky or wavy hair, not Asian or Caucasian straight. Our kind of hair represents a collective texture of leaves with the trees creating a forest. This is why most indigenous females have experienced prejudice against their hair. Your hair represents the forests of America in your blood reflecting from you. Please note, it is well noted when correctly nourished, AmerIndian hair looks edible like a sponge and feels as soft flower petals.
Notice she's in her regalia on the left and in plain clothes on the right. Notice the complexions, the cheekbones, the hair. More of our glorious hair.
Who are the real Americans? America keep changing and changing and changing. Let's go back in time when the American Indians looked like I look and roamed the southeast part of the United States freely.
Everything we've been taught in the American education system is all a lie. Yes, Native Americans weren't the original people of this land. We actually took it from black people.
For a black woman to wear her natural hair, however that manifests itself,
Yes.
to me is a declaration of power and of pride and of love and of identity. I'm just a huge fan of it. I really am. I'm a huge fan of it. I understand why we do the wigs and I understand it. But I understand it, but I would never demand it.
Yeah.
I would never demand it. Many women that I see with naturals, I go out of my way to tell them how beautiful their hair looks. And just to see their shoulders rise and that smile beam across their face. It's just, I don't get tired of it. I just don't get tired of it. So I am
Notice their complexions, their headscarf, their hair, the pale face looking up at them. Now these are old magazine covers from a magazine called Copper. that's no longer in print. And if you know anything about American Indian history and culture, they're also referred to as the copper-colored people in old text and historical writings. And so magazines called copper. If we know anything about copper, we know that it comes in the darkest, most muddy looking brown copper to the lightest red looking copper, like brown with the red undertone. It's copper. This right here appears to be an old picture of some American Indians. I'm not sure of the tribe, and I don't think the brother shared that information on his channel, but he just wanted us to look at them and notice how they are dressed. Notice the areas they refer to here. Look at sis with her beautiful brown copper skin and her fro. She's gorgeous. I love to see us in our hair. Whatever texture and type, it's our hair. We need to embrace it and love on it. Now this is everybody's auntie or grandma sitting out back on the side of the house in part of what looks like the garden. And I want us all to really try to get back to our ways, get back to the garden growing food. These are some modern day American Indians. Sis on the left is Moo Fresh. Love her music. Look her up. This is so many of our nanas.
So people got mad at me because I said the Afro is American culture and for American Indians and indigenous people. And I also said that Africans never wore Afros. So I'm going to show you a couple of sources to prove that an Afro is American and not African.
Now notice this Indian here and his hair and the scalp that he's holding. If you know anything about the American Indian Wars and massacres, you'll know that when you see a lot of our people in these long straight hair wigs, that they actually came from the scalps of our enemies that we defeated in war. More locks. Look at them locks, beautiful.
That to me means to be a member of the Black world diaspora. And why am I saying Black instead of African? Well, it's because a growing number of us have come to discover that our roots are not in Africa. Our roots are actually in the Americas.
Americans are truly the first Americans, then they would have the same facial features as they did hundreds of years ago.
So I want to encourage everyone to, of course, get their own genealogy done. There's only so much these DNA tests are going to be able to tell you. None of them of who your actual people are. So a genealogist is the better person for that task if it matters to you who your tribe of people are and were.
So no matter how you choose to identify Black or American Indian, this video is an ode to our hair in all its beauty and glory and unique distinctiveness that no other group of people who are calling themselves American Indian can claim. And to me, when you've decided to wear your natural hair, you are one step closer to stepping into the highest version of yourself, the way the Great Spirit and the Supreme Creator has made you. And it makes the journey, the hair journey, so much easier when you know exactly what to do to keep it in its best possible condition. And so I have written for us an ebook in which you get over a decade of my master cosmetology experience as a natural texture specialist to bring to you best natural hair care practices, the products that you need to be using by your hair type, as well as a list of ingredients that you want to avoid when shopping for hair products so that if you want to source some of your own products, you have an extensive guide of what not to purchase, so that you are keeping your hair in best possible condition, as well as your health, excuse me, in best possible condition. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you found the video informative. I'd love to know if any of you out there have actually identified your tribes, or maybe you've always grown up knowing. But I recently found mine's last year, and it's definitely brought a piece of completeness and wholeness to me spiritually, and allowed me to align with the ancestral cultural practices of my people that I already had been in some ways and didn't even know it. So love to hear your comments. Thank you for watching. Peace and well-being blessings to the next one.